Hey there, good afternoon to all of our HISD community, and thank you for tuning in to HISD Now for this special live stream. I'm Trey, Serna. We're coming on this afternoon for a very special announcement from district leadership about an exciting change in how we recognize and reward the transformative work that HISD teachers are doing every day. Starting in the 2026-2027 school year, HISD is adopting a new pay-for-performance model that ties teacher compensation directly to their impact on student success. It's a bold change that the district believes will help recruit, retain, and continue to reward the best educators for our students. And joining me this afternoon to talk about this compensation system is Superintendent Mike Miles and Chief of Schools Sandi Massey. First off, thank you both for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Trey.
First question's for you, Mr. Miles. Why is HISD making this shift?
So, Trey, teachers are our most important resource, and the effectiveness of the teacher is a leading indicator of student success and student outcomes. So we need to not only appreciate our teachers, but we also need to pay them well. It's time for teachers to have a professional wage, not just a living wage, not just a good wage, but a professional wage. And this pay-for-performance system allows that to happen.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Chief Massey, next question's for you. Can you share why this change is such a positive one for our teachers? And is there anything personally that you're excited about this new model?
It's a very positive change for teachers. I'm personally excited because I taught for 12 years and I was on a step and lane salary schedule, which means I got about $500 a year, regardless of how hard I worked as a teacher. I worked very hard as a teacher. I had very effective scores for my students all 12 years, and I got paid the same as the teacher across the hallway who just started. And so for me to see teachers engaging in effective instruction and getting compensated for that instruction, that matters.
Very nice. The pay for performance makes sense now. What role does the Teacher Excellence System, or TES, play in this pay-for-performance model?
Yeah, so the Teacher Excellence System, it's a great tool that identifies and clearly sets out the expectations for what a high-performing teacher looks like. What does a proficient teacher or higher look like? That gives a tool that teachers can really use to inform how they become great teachers. So tying it to pay-for-performance means I'm going to get rewarded for being a great teacher.
Very nice. Could you maybe show us or walk us through a model of kind of how this new system is different than what teachers are currently experiencing?
Sure, I can. And if you don't mind, I'm going to use some slides.
Yeah, no, definitely. Go ahead.
So for the visual learners out there, this will help a little bit. So this is the new TES. This is the evaluation system. It stands for Teacher Excellence System. And the board approved this the last board meeting. So you can see that teachers are going to be evaluated on quality of instruction, how effective they are delivering instruction, student achievement or outcomes, the campus action plan, and then what we call planning and professionalism. And that's how well are you prepared for class, how are you internalizing the lesson, etc. This is also part of the evaluation system. What this says is we put 10,500 evaluations up, and we graded on a curve, or this target distribution. So if you look at that, the Prof 1, that's Proficient 1, that's where everybody wants to aim for, that or higher.
And that's the center one right there, right?
The center one, yes. And that's the center, and to the right, that 60% of our teachers will be effective or higher, proficient or higher. And then 25% will be close to that. And you know, one of the reasons we want to do this is that we want to value effectiveness. We want to value effective teaching, and so no organization can maximize its effectiveness if you say you value effectiveness and then you compensate differently. You compensate based on years of experience, for example. We've had two processes. So we have an evaluation system. This year it's T-TEST. Sorry for all the letters, but next year there'll still be one evaluation system, and that is the Teacher Excellence System, TES, that I just showed, that pie chart. On the right-hand side, compensation. This year we've had two compensation systems. We've had the step and lane, or the salary schedule that most school districts are used to, And the PUA, or the non-NES schools, have been using that. And then the NES schools have been using what we call a hospital model. They have a slightly different compensation
A
plan.
hospital model, you said?
It's called hospital model. It means that we differentiate the pay by subject. So language arts teachers get paid the highest. Elective teachers don't get paid as much.
Oh, okay.
And that's this current year. That will also be for next year, because next year we'll be evaluating using the TES evaluation. At the end of the year, people will get their evaluation scores, and we will pay them one pay system, the new pay for performance system.
Got it.
And it looks like this. I mean, it may be a little complicated for the, for the reader who's first looking at it, but what this says is that blue bar is what the PUA teachers will receive under pay for performance. So you can see that if you are proficient 1, that those salaries there are for the PUA teachers. It's $80,000. That's already a good salary, a professional wage for a professional teacher, and it doesn't matter how many years of experience you have. If you get proficient 1, if your evaluation ends up as proficient 1, that's where you'll be. And you can see the difference there. If you're exemplary 1, it's $92,000.
Got it.
Now, for NES, we divide the NES into 2. We call it NES 1 and NES 2. NES 1 is for the non-core teachers who teach in an NES school. NES 2 is for the core teachers. So you can see there, PUA receives $80,000. That's the blue bar. If you're NES 1 and you're proficient 1, you'll get $3,000 more than the PUA. So you'll be making $83,000. If you teach a core subject, you get an additional $6,000, so that's a total of $9,000 more. So the core subject teachers in NES will make $9,000 more than the $80,000 that a PUA teacher makes in this example. But in every example, progressing 1, progressing 2, proficient 1, proficient 2, exemplary, you see that the NES non-core will make $3,000 more. The NES core will make $9,000 more than the PUA teachers. So it's one compensation plan with 3 different categories. I hope that wasn't too confusing for folks. We're going to take a lot more time with teachers.
The chart helped, though, definitely.
Yeah, hopefully that helps. The moral of the story here is, though, every teacher, regardless of where you teach, is paid for effectiveness. It's aligned to effectiveness. And the NES schools serving a population of kids who are further behind will be incentivized because they'll be making more based on the proficiency level.
Wonderful. Thank you for that breakdown.
Do you have time for more slides?
Is there more slides? Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's more. There we go.
Okay, so there's a couple more things. I'll race through these. Teachers are paid with the current NES salaries. So this is next year.
Okay.
I don't want people to be confused about this. Next year, we do the evaluation. So they're being paid on the current year. Yeah. So they're being paid with NES if they're in an NES school, PUA if they're in a PUA school. The regular salary schedule, the regular hospital model. That's next year.
Got it.
They're being evaluated next year using TES, and at the end of that evaluation is when we start the new pay.
Okay.
You follow me?
Yes.
So we have to go through a year of work.
The transition year.
Under the TES, and then at the end of that year, then you get paid for the work you did in 25, 26. I hope that's clear.
No, that did make sense, so yes.
Now, there's still stipends in the compensation manual, so that's not affected by this.
Got it.
So again, 26, 27 is first payout. Now, the second bullet on this slide is very important, and that is both PUA and NES teachers will be held harmless to their traditional, the salary schedule amount they would have received in 25, 26. So next year there's a salary schedule. It's an increase over this year's salary schedule. That amount, if you have 25 years of experience, you'll probably be making somewhere around $75,000 on the salary schedule. That amount is what we hold you harmless to, meaning no matter where you wind up on the evaluation, and then the compensation is tied to that evaluation, if that compensation amount is lower than the 25-26 salary you would have received, you're going to receive the 25-26 salary. So that way you can't plummet, you can't drop below what you would have received in 25-26. Okay? Again, for the uninitiated, this might be complicated. We'll explain this a lot in writing and in the TES trainers at the school.
Wonderful. I think that's the last slide right now. There we go.
Last slide. So new teachers with at least, so we have people coming in 26-27 school year. They will not have had an evaluation in the 25-26 school year. Where do they start? Well, if they have at least 3 years of experience, they start at progressing 2. And remember, that's $74,000. If you're a new teacher, no experience, new to any HISD and no experience, or you're uncertified, you'll start at progressing 1, which is $70,000.
And that one that you just said, that's if you're brand new to the district and brand new to teaching,
brand
correct?
new to teaching, or if you have fewer than 3 years.
Got it.
Okay? If you have 3 years or more, or at least 3 years, so 4 years or more, then you'll be at progressing 2. And so the pay for performance plan, really, the compensation, we tie it to 2 years of evaluation ratings. Now, the first year, there's only 1 year of evaluation rating, so you're going to get paid that. But in future years, we average 2 years of evaluation ratings to get your performance level on which you will be paid. Okay, so every year counts, but by averaging 2 years together, instead of getting paid every year what your evaluation rating says, it prevents wild swings in your pay because we're averaging the 2 years.
Got it. A very detailed breakdown there, but I like that.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm happy to answer questions about it.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. When we were obviously talking about our teachers, Chief Massey, this question's for you. How are our teachers being supported during this transition?
Well, the teachers who've been in HISD for the last 2 years are already getting the support to start with because we've been talking about high quality instruction and what that looks like for 2 years already. So they have a head start on what it looks like to be supported in high quality instruction. But ongoing, of course, we're going to have lots of training happening this summer. There's already a group of what we call TES trainers, teacher trainers, that have been a part of the year-long process to get this system approved. The Trailblazers, they've been using the system. And so that team will help support teachers throughout the year. We will obviously keep coaching principals. The teachers are going to get day-to-day coaching in addition to the training. So there's a lot of ways that teachers are going to get supported. But one of the biggest ones Mr. Miles just talked about, and that is for the first 4 years, if they drop in evaluation, they won't drop in salary. That's a huge layer of support.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's a big nugget right there. Okay, thank you for that. We've talked about our teachers. What about our parents? What do they need to know about this new model?
Yeah, for parents, I would say this. Look, in the end of the day, we want to make sure that our teachers are effective and provide your students with proficient, effective teachers. One who nurtures kids but also can get achievement results for them, can help them read or write or do math or prepare for college and career. And this pay for performance model helps us do that. And so in the end of the day, yes, it's about the teacher, but more important, it's about our kids and whether or not they had the best quality education that we can possibly give them. And that starts with an effective teacher in the classroom.
Wonderful. Last question for both of you. In 2 sentences or less, Superintendent Miles, can you sum up what of the pay for the what of the pay for performance, and Chief Massey, the why?
Yeah, so quickly, I think the what is we're going to have much higher salaries across the board, and it's a professional wage. And the other what is we are tying that compensation to effectiveness. And there's a lot of detail, of course, but in the end of the day, that's what we're doing.
Wonderful.
And for the why, it's because great teachers who are effective deserve great compensation.
Wonderful. Well, again, thank you both so much for joining us today and breaking this model down for us. I know there's a lot of information to go over, but of course, like you said, we'll be updating our community here on HISD Now, and all of our social channels and website and whatnot. Thank you so much again for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And teachers, be sure to check your inboxes to read more about the Pay for Performance system in the April edition of the For Teachers Only memo. It'll be sent to you this afternoon. And if you're just tuning into this live stream, we just finished talking to district leadership about the Pay for Performance change that'll take effect next school year. And we'll be posting this full conversation on the HISD Now YouTube channel right after this live stream ends. Before we go, thank you to every teacher and leader in HISD, as we're committed to building systems that support you, recognize your impact, and reward your excellence. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content. We'll see you again this afternoon at 3 p.m. Have a great day.